Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to learn how to make this little kitty. So for that you're gonna need velvet yarn in the color ash or whatever color you like, and a 4.0 millimeter hook. So to start we are going to make a slip knot. So for the first round we are gonna make a magic ring with 7 single crochets. Here I'm using the chain 2 method, but you can use the magic ring method. So by the end of the first row we will have 7 stitches. For round 2 we are gonna make increases for each of the 7 stitches. So by the end of round 2 we will have 14 stitches. So you just have to make 2 single crochets in each of the 7 single crochets. Don't forget to mark the first stitch with your stitch marker. For the third row we are going to make 1 single crochet and increase in the next one. Don't forget the stitch marker. So by the end of the third row we will have 21 stitches. For row 4 we are gonna make 1 single crochet and then increase, and then in the next stitch again another single crochet. So the pattern is single crochet, increase, single crochet. You must follow this pattern until you reach the end of row 3, and then you will get a total stitch count of 28 stitches. Okay, so now we are at the end of row 4 and we will be having 28 stitches. This is what our project looks like so far, and let's go to the next round. We won't be doing any increases or decreases. We are just gonna make single crochets all around for row 5. For rows 6, 7 and 8, we are going to do the same thing. No any increases or decreases, only single crochets around. I'll meet you guys by the end of row 8. Okay, so we finished crocheting until row 8. For the next row, we are gonna make an increase. So we're gonna do single crochet, single crochet, single crochet, and then 2 single crochets in the same stitch. So 3 single crochets and 1 increase. By the end of this row, we will have 35 stitches. If you are a beginner, I suggest that you use acrylic yarn to practice, and then when you are comfortable with it, you can use velvet yarn, because sometimes handling velvet yarn can be difficult for some. For row 10 to 15, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, we are going to do the same thing and just make, same thing means we are just going to make single crochets around. So the stitch count at the end of each row will be 35. I'll meet you at the end of row 15. So this is what it looks like a cup. And for the next row, we are going to start decreasing. For that, we are gonna do 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, again 1 single crochet in the 3rd stitch, and of course don't forget your stitch marker. For stitches 4 and 5, we are going to single crochet 2 together, like so. Pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through both. So this kind of makes a decrease, and we are going to follow this pattern. Make sure that you are going through only the front loop when you are decreasing. Just go through the 4th and 5th front loops and then yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through both loops. Okay guys, so we reached the end of that row, and this is what our project looks like for now. Well, for the next row, we are gonna do single crochet, decrease, single crochet. So that's the pattern we are going to follow. So let's start. So single crochet in the 1st stitch, then single crochet 2 together, which makes the decrease, and then into the next stitch we are going to do another single crochet. So we are going to follow this pattern until we reach the end of this row. I reached the end of that row too, and now this is how our work looks like. It's kind of like a potato. Now we are going to fill it with stuffing or polyfill. I'm using polyfill here. You can use cotton or leftover yarn, scrap yarn, anything you have. So to stuff this in, first of all, I'm gonna pull out the polyfill like this so that it would spread evenly when I fill it in. And then I'm just gonna fill the work with polyfill like so. You're gonna fill the work until you're happy with it. And now I think it's enough for me, so I'm gonna continue doing the decrease. So for this row we're gonna do single crochet and then a decrease. So single crochet, decrease is the pattern we're gonna follow for this row. Now I'm at the end of that row, and the next and the final row that we are going to crochet, we are going to crochet 2 together. That means a whole decreasing row. Just single crochet 2 together until you reach the end, and by the end of that row you will have left with only 7 stitches, and then I will teach you how to close the hole. And of course you can stuff polyfill if you want to stuff in more, just like I did in the video. It doesn't matter, you can stuff polyfill whenever you want. If you feel like it's not enough and you want to get the desired shape, you need more polyfill, you can stuff it in right away. As you can see, I am doing the decreases. I'm single crocheting 2 stitches together, and yeah, this is the final step in making the body of our little kitty. Actually, the final step is closing the hole, but you get the idea. Okay, so that's done, and now I'm gonna leave a long tail and cut the yarn. Pull out the tail like this, and if you want to stuff more polyfill in, now it's the final time that you can do it. I'm not gonna stuff more polyfill in, but anyways, let's learn how to close the hole. So for that you're gonna need a darning needle. Is it darning needle or yarn needle? I don't know the correct name. Basically you just need a kind of a big needle, because you need to put the velvet yarn thread in. And what we're gonna do here is we're gonna go into the front loop only in the last 7 stitches or the last row. As you can see in the video, I'm just going through all the front loops. Just go through them, and then finally you're gonna pull the string, yarn thread, yarn or whatever, you're gonna pull on it, and the hole will get closed like so. That is kind of very satisfying. And after that you're gonna have to hide the tail. So just go through your project like this and hide your tail. Body of the Bulu kitty baby is done, and it looks like a potato. Anyways, let's make the ears. So for that we are gonna make a magic ring with 3 stitches. I am using the chain 2 method, but you can use the magic ring. chain 2 and into the second chain from the hook, I'm going to insert the hook and do my first single crochet. So I'm going to make 3 single crochets altogether for round 1. For the second round, we're gonna make 2 single crochets in one, and in the next stitch a single crochet, and in the third stitch again 2 single crochets in the same. So increase, single crochet, increase is the pattern for the second round, and by the end of the second round you will have 5 stitches. For the next round, we are going to make a single crochet, increase, single crochet, increase, single crochet. So that will give you 7 stitches by the end of that row. When you are done, leave a long tail and cut the yarn. So we are going to use this tail to attach the ear to the body. You must make 2 ears, follow the same steps and make another ear. Now let's learn how to make the hands. For that we are going to make a magic ring with 4 stitches, 4 single crochets. I'm going to use the chain 2 method and make 4 single crochets for the first round. For round 2, we are gonna make 1 single crochet, increase, 1 single crochet, increase. So altogether by the end of the second round you will have 6 single crochets, 6 stitches. So follow the pattern, single crochet, increase, single crochet, increase. For the next round, we are going to simply do single crochets all around. So by the end of the third round also you will get 6 stitches. So by the end of the first round you got 4, by the end of the second round you got 6, and by the end of the third round you will again get 6 stitches. I hope you won't get confused because I am not using my stitch marker in the video. I'm just keeping the count in my mind, but I recommend that you use the stitch marker. Okay, so once you finish making the last round, you're gonna cut the yarn, leave a little bit of tail to sew it to the kitty's body. Just as before, you must make another hand. Follow the same steps. You must have 2 hands and 2 ears, and then we must make a tail for the kitty baby. Okay, so before that, let's attach the other parts to the body. So first I'm gonna attach the ears. So in order to do that, I'm just gonna close the opening first and then attach the ear. If you want me to tell an exact place, I'm gonna go 1, 2 down from the middle and attach 1 ear. If you are wondering how I am attaching this, I mean like if I'm using a specific method, then the answer is no. I just attach it and pull it and see whether it's loosened, and I just run the yarn basically all through the project, and I will be doing the same thing to the other ear. The other ear will also be fixed around the second row from the top. If you count 1, 2, there we will fix the ear there, and between the ears there will be a stitch count of 10 if we consider the second row, and a stitch count of 12 if we consider the third row. So the ears are kind of like in an angle, as you can see. Both ears have been attached. Now it's time to attach the hands to the body. As you can see, we are going to attach the hand around 8. You can decide where to attach the hand. Would you want it to be a bit higher or lower? But I think this place is much better fitting. And yeah, so just as before, we are just gonna attach the hand, 2 hands, and then we'll move on to making the tail. Maybe some of you noticed that I attached the hand directly under the ears, so it's easy for me to kind of get an idea about the placement. Okay, so I finished attaching the hands, and I'm just gonna make some knots to make sure that it won't loosen up. Okay guys, we are almost there. Now let's move on to make the tail. So just as before, we are gonna make a magic ring. I'm using the chain 2 method, and into the second chain from the hook I'm gonna make 5 single crochets as the first row. For the second row, I'm going to make 1 single crochet, increase, 1 single crochet, increase, 1 single crochet. So you'll be having 7 stitches by the end of row 2. For the next row, we are just gonna make single crochets around. So by the end of row 3, you will have 7 stitches in total. And you are going to follow this for row 4, 5 and 6. So now I'm at the end of row 6. And I'm gonna cut the yarn, leave a long tail for sewing. And this is what the tail looks like. So it's not that hard. Just as before, we are going to sew the opening close and then attach the tail to the kitty. So this is how I decide on the placements. So I'm going to consider the middle of the 2 ears. And from the bottom, I'm gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows up and place the tail. You can place it higher or wherever the place you like, but it would be better if it was in the middle. That's totally up to your preference. I am sewing around the tail and then sending my yarn through the work and making sure that it won't loosen up. So if you're not sure, you can of course make a few knots and push it into the work so that it is not visible. So the kitty is done. I have attached all the parts, the ears, hands and the tail, and now all that is left is to make the detailed face. Let's get on to it. This is the eye that I'm using. It's a half bead in black and of the size 8mm. I'm using the P6000 glue to fix the eyes. So I'm just gonna decide on a placement. So this is again your preference. I prefer it to be around these places. So yeah, what I do is first, before I fix the eyes, I just keep them and see whether it's okay and the face is not that weird. I have cut a little nose to the kitty from felt. I used felt for this, and for the whiskers also I used black color felt. So Bulu the kitty is done, and now what I'm going to do is add a little belt. This is totally optional. Okay, so it is complete and we are done. This is the kitty. I hope you guys enjoy making this little kitty. If you like my content, make sure to subscribe. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Bye bye.